New Netflix miniseries Apple Cider Vinegar tells the astonishing story of an Australian influencer who lied about having cancer for years, all to promote her app and alternative therapies. It's a wild ride, to say the least, but for something based on a true story, more than a few things were fabricated or left out entirely from the Netflix dramatization, and the reason for that might not be what you think. Apple Cider Vinegar is the newest in a slew of successful based on a true story shows, and it's already popping off, landing at number 5 on the global top 10 English TV list and claiming the number 1 spot in Australia. So which parts were made up or left out, and why? First, let's get into what happened with Australian influencer Belle Gibson. Spoiler alert, obviously we're going to talk about what happens on the show, so Australia 2013. A young woman's extraordinary story of surviving cancer makes headlines as she launched what would become a best-selling wellness app. According to Belle, she had been diagnosed with a malignant brain tumor and had been given 6 weeks, 4 months tops, to live in 2009. But she had chosen to forego chemotherapy and radiotherapy treatments and instead set out on a quest to, quote, heal myself naturally through nutrition, patience, determination, and love. Back then, Instagram was in its early days, still a time where it was mostly just sepia-toned pictures. And Belle amassed 200,000 followers. And then she launched a best-selling wellness and nutrition app, followed by a cookbook in which she claims the recipes cured her terminal illness. She was basically saying, she cured cancer with juice. Elle Australia dubbed her the most inspiring woman you've met this year, and Cosmopolitan gave her a Fun Fearless Female Award, but it was all based on a lie. Eventually, everything came crashing down for Belle, who had never been diagnosed with a brain cancer, let alone the cancer in her spleen, blood, brain, liver, and uterus that she also eventually claimed to have. While at her peak of public interest, Belle said that she donated 25% of her company's profits and had given 300,000 Australian dollars to various charities. In reality, she donated less than 10,000 AUD from earnings of around 420,000. Australian media started to wonder if she was all shit, and eventually in 2015, she admitted the truth to Women's Weekly, saying, "I'm still jumping between what I think I know and what is reality. I've lived it, and I'm not really there yet." So which parts of the Netflix version are real and which parts are fake? Let's start with the facts. The 60 Minutes interview is real, and somehow the original is even crazier than the Netflix recreation. You have to watch this whole thing. I do not play when it comes to Tara Brown, okay? She's a freaking icon. I want to be her when I grow up. Should I get a bob? In the show, we see Belle demand $75,000 to be paid to her before she does the interview. This is also true, kind of. Belle was paid $75,000 for her appearance, as revealed in court documents. But did it happen exactly like it did in the show? Maybe, probably not. In the series, Belle was exposed by 2 investigative journalists from The Age in Melbourne, Bo Donnelly and Nick Toscano. This was also real. They ended up publishing the book this Netflix series is based on, named The Woman Who Fooled the World. The overall bones of the story on Netflix did really happen. The rise and fall of it all, the journos, the batshit interview, and her publishing deal all really happened. But the characters and connected storylines in the time-jumpy show are mostly fictional. The character, Mila Blake, is made up. Some similar stuff did happen with some real-life people. She's loosely based on Jessica Einskopf, a self-described wellness warrior who attempted to cure her own cancer with natural remedies. Jessica died, unfortunately, in 2015 at the age of 30. Belle fan and cancer patient Lucy, made up. So are these characters just made up to get a good narrative going? Or is there something else going on here? Both. Funnily enough, both. Netflix is currently being sued right now over another based on a true story show, Baby Reindeer. If you somehow missed that show, it follows a guy as he deals with a really scary and intense stalker, starring and written by Richard Gadd and based off of his lived experience. In Baby Reindeer, every episode states, "This is a true story." Scottish woman Fiona Harvey, who internet sleuths identified as the stalker of the show's protagonist, launched legal action against Netflix in 2024, claiming the streamer fictionalized her actions and presented them as true to her detriment. Last September, a US judge ruled that Fiona could pursue defamation against Netflix, saying the show was billed in marketing and in episodes as a true story, and that Netflix made no effort to fact-check. Interestingly, Apple Cider Vinegar avoids this by having a slightly different disclaimer each episode, like, "This is a true-ish story based on a lie," and "The following is inspired by a true story. Certain characters and events have been created or fictionalized." Could Belle even sue them though? They didn't really tell any lies about her, and if she wanted to get into the concept of the truth in court, it might not go too well for her, considering what happened after the events of the series. You know, usually a based on a true story show tells you what happened next, but Apple Cider Vinegar does not do that. Instead, Belle pops up on screen and tells viewers that they can Google it. I found this really interesting because, I guess I can Google it, sure. Okay, bye, I guess. So what happened next? A couple of months after Belle's 60 Minutes interview, Consumer Affairs Victoria, or CAV, launched a civil case against her and her company, following an investigation that alleged she had broken Australian consumer law. In 2017, a judge held up most but not all of CAV's allegations and added she may have had other psychological or psychiatric issues. Belle never ended up going to jail though. She is yet to be convicted of a crime. She was found to have breached consumer law, but that is not as serious as criminal fraud charges. She has racked up a shitload of fines. A civil case saw her fined $300,000, and an additional federal case landed her with a $410,000 fine. Belle didn't attend any of her original court dates or the dates where the fines were handed down. By 2018, her fines were still unpaid, causing CAV to investigate her even further. And in 2019, when she didn't appear in court again, a financial analysis showed she had spent around $91,000 between 2017 and 2019, including trips to Bali and Africa, and an estimated $13,000 on clothes and makeup. Belle continued to be crippled by debt she claimed to be unable to pay, and in 2021, with her fines topping $500,000 Australian dollars, her home was raided on a search and sale warrant, which basically means they come into your house and take your shit so they can pay your fines. So what's Belle up to now? Wherever she is, she's probably lying some more. Let's just be honest. She was seen in 2020 at an event for Ethiopia's Oromo community in Melbourne while wearing a headscarf and using a different name. Her house was raided again in 2021, and as of right now, she still hasn't paid those fines. Do you think they'll manage to get this money out of her? I don't know. Thanks for watching, everybody. We do 5 videos a week on anything that's happening around the internet or around the world, and I'll explain it to you because I'm really nice and I'm really nosy. This is my 50th video on this channel. Yay! 50 videos! Wow! Think about that. Before you knew me here on this channel, you knew 50 less things. That's so many things. But thank you so much. I'm looking forward to making more videos. See you tomorrow.